Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the top business stories. FNC passes draft law for shipping industry. Nakheel says it will not need additional funding from a Dubai government. And we find out about how higher oil prices are affecting the GCC economies. The GCC markets closed positive today, and the UAE bourses also ended higher. The DFM rose 0.25% to close at 1,627 points. Arab Tech fell 0.5%, as well as Dubai Islamic Bank, which also gained 0.5%. Emirates NBD rose over 2%, and DU gained over 0.25%. 71 million shares were traded, valued at 112 million dirhams. Meanwhile, in the capital, the ADX rose marginally by 0.1% to close at 2,668 points. The banking sector posted gains today as Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank climbed 5.25% and Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank was up over 0.5%. Alder Properties dropped 2.75%, while Suru Real Estate fell nearly 0.75%. And in the energy sector, Dana Gas fell over 2.5%, while Taka climbed over 0.75%. Etisalat dropped 0.5%. 77 million shares were traded, valued at 123 million dirhams. And now let's take a look at the GCC markets, which ended mostly mixed today. Coming up now, let's take a look at various currencies exchanged into dirhams, followed by the price of oil, precious metals, and a selection of commodities. The Federal National Council has passed a draft law that will help transform the shipping industry into a major economic sector. Upon presidential approval, the maritime law will amend the current rules on ownership and will allow foreign ships to register in the UAE. The law is also expected to boost local and foreign trade and will outline the course of action in battling with narcotics and human trafficking against any foreign ship on UAE territory. Property developer Nakheel says it will not need additional support from the Dubai government. The company's chairman, Ali Lota, said today that the company is almost there, and although there were some previous bureaucratic procedures, they are working hard. The Dubai government said it would provide $8 billion in cash and also convert 1.2 billion of loans to the company into equity. That was in March last year. Nakheel hopes to issue Islamic bonds to its creditors, but has no plans to sell shares to the public. Abu Dhabi is set to launch a project to link its onshore and offshore gas facilities in a bid to develop its hydrocarbon sector. One of the world's largest oil firms, Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC, plans to expand its business by investing heavily in oil capacity and gas production through the expansion of Zakum Development Company, in which the oil giant holds a 60% stake. The company plans a $15 billion artificial island project to boost oil production by about 40% per day. Building islands and transporting the oil from there to the mainland is cheaper than erecting offshore production platforms. The project could result in cost savings of several $1 billion. Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank has set aside 1.1 billion dirhams to cover losses from loans to Dubai World. The UAE's third largest bank has also set aside 554 million dirhams last year to cover for losses from Saudi Arabia Saad and Al Ghusaibi business groups. The bank, in its financial statement, says that the company's non-performing loans ratio rose to 5.8% at the end of 2010 as compared to 5.2% in the previous year. And in our fast financial news, Abu Dhabi-based government-owned company Mubadala says more drilling is needed for its oil and gas discovery found last month in the Caspian Sea to see if the field is commercially viable. The oil well breakthrough in Kazakhstan was capped upon its discovery due to a series of safety tests, but officials say there are high signs of oil. The CEO of the Emirates Securities and Commodities Authority says the UAE financial markets will need time to adjust to tighter ethical standards. The SCA has tightened some of its laws within the markets to help overcome areas such as transparency and protection for shareholders, to encourage foreign investors into the market and improve confidence. Dubai Marina is the primary choice for investors looking to buy and rent apartments in the Emirate. PropertyFinder.ae's fourth quarter report reveals that the marina tops its search finders list at 19% of total sales searches and 20% for rentals, with 2 beds being the preferred choice. Dubai Land has also become a preferred choice, jumping from 18th place in the third quarter of last year to 10th place in the final quarter. And Toyota is recalling 1.7 million dirhams worldwide due to possible slight cracks on engine pipes. The car manufacturer says these defects may cause fuel leakage, where more than 140 cases have been reported in Japan with no accidents so far. This comes after millions of cars were recalled last year after issues surrounding brake and accelerator faults. And on the way after the break, we speak to Kate Durian, editor at Platts Middle East, to talk about the impact of increased oil prices on GCC economy.